Hello everyone, I hope you like that new intro. So welcome to Spotty Dog Wargaming again. So game 2 of our little mini tournament that we held at Patrick's house at the weekend. This one, game 2, Dwarven Holds versus Sylvan Elves. 2500 points again, let's go to the lists. So starting with my Dwarven Holds list, it's obviously the same as the last game, being that it's a tournament. Led by my Runic Master. In the Kingsguard with the BSB, the Demon Seekers going in the Skirmishing Seekers, and it's all pretty self-explanatory. So let's go to Patrick's list, which is new. So he's got the Avatar of Nature leading it with the Oaken Crown, Thicket Shepherd BSB with Entwined Roots. I think that makes them strength 5, and I think the Amaryllis banner maybe lets them fight in extra ranks. I'm not sure. For those Sylvan Elves players, you'll know all this already anyway. Then he's got a couple of wizards, a level 1, a level 2, alchemy and fire. Core, he's got a 30 forest guard with spears, 11 naked archers, a couple of fast cav. Thicket beast star, where his BSB's going. A unit of kestrel knights, 20 forest rangers, they're the guys with the great weapons. 5 wild huntsmen with the vanguard and shields. An eagle, which Patrick uses as an owl, which is pretty cool. And 5 briar maidens. Okay, so we're playing battle line. In terms of objectives, we rolled for it and it came out as the one where you've got to place the tokens down, and if you control them at the end of the game with your scoring units, then you get 3 victory points. Basically, you turn a 17-3 into a 20-0 or whatever, you know. And in terms of sides and deployment, so I got to choose sides, and then Patrick got to drop first, and we went 1 for 1 for about 3 or 4 drops until it got to the point where Patrick had 4 left, and then I just put everything down. Because similar to the game 1, I wanted to get the vanguards, I wanted to get the full 12 inches. So yeah, so let's start with deployment. So my left flank, we've got the 24 Greybeards with shields and throwing weapons, full command, banner of speed. Attack copter, then we've got the 3 Hold Guardians, another attack copter, 20 guild crafted gunners with full command in the middle. Then we've got the Anvil of Power. In front of that, we've got the 2 Vengeance Seekers. Love those models, by the way. 26 Kingsguard with Runic Master and Thane BSB. And then next door, we've got the 5 Skirmishing Seekers with the Demon Seeker, the Lord level guy. So Patrick's left flank, we've got the 5 Heath Riders. We've then got the 5 Briar Maidens. We've then got Patrick's Owl, which is an eagle, and then his 11 archers. And then yeah, there's the rest of his army. Same as Pell, he didn't want to have anything to do with the King's Guard, so he's gone opposite side. Fair enough. So out in front, we've got the 3 Kestrel Knights, the Forest Guard behind. Then the front centre, you've got the 20 Rangers. Behind that, we've got the Thicket Star with BSB. Avatar of Nature with the Oaken Crown. Out front left, we've got the another unit of Heath Riders, and behind those the Wild Huntsmen. Okay, so onto vanguards. We've got Kingsguard going straight up the middle, just getting a full 12 inches. Then Pat elects to go with his Heath Riders coming down his left flank. Then I go with a bit of a switch crossover with the Seekers vanguarding to the centre. Okay, and then the other side, Patrick's vanguard, has gone Heath Riders, and then behind those the Wild Huntsmen. Right, so Dwarven Holds turn 1. Not a lot happens. Things move, as you can see. Greybeards move up, so does the attack copter. The Guardians move up a little bit. The Gunners move up to try and get a shot on something next turn. Everybody else just moves up a little bit. Yep, the Kingsguard have wheeled. The skirmishing guys have moved up their full 9, as have the Vengeance Seekers. And then the attack copter flies over the top of the anvil to protect it from the Heath Riders who are going to be on it next turn. I skipped the magic shooting phase because nothing happened. I did have a magic phase, but Patrick just shut me down. So yeah, nothing happened there. So we go to Sylvan Elves turn 1. As you can see, the Briar Maidens have come round, as have the Heath Riders, and that damn owl has chaffed my Kingsguard. What did I expect? Over here, so he's tried to charge the Heath Riders into the front of my Greybeards. I stand and shoot, kill one. Patrick then fails his charge. And there's a double bonus. The Wild Huntsman behind were trying to charge the attack copter, but because the Heath Riders failed their charge, they couldn't fit through, so they failed as well. I think I got a stand and shoot off, but didn't even hit, so that was a bit of a bust. And everybody else there just moves up. I think the Kestrel Knights have just moved to the side a little bit. He moves up cautiously there. In his magic phase, it was a pretty good one from what I remember. I can't remember the exact roll, but he actually kills, as you'll see on the next slide, 4 Seekers with a medium fireball. So the 2d6 strength 4 hits one. I just didn't have enough dispelled ice to dispel it, and I think he threw another. I think he tried to put burning ramparts on the Kingsguard as well, but anyway. I dispelled that one and then didn't have enough dice to dispel the fireball, so that went off. In his shooting phase, a combined effort between the Briar Maidens and his archers actually kill a Vengeance Seeker, which is good work because they're pretty good against toughness 3 things, so well done Patrick for that. And here's just another look over here of the left hand side of the board. So we go to Dwarves turn 2. My attack copter moves up to chaff the Heath Riders. The Kingsguard at the top, they've actually charged the Owl and beat it by this point, but I'll come back to that in the combat phase. So they're in combat with the Owl at the top. The Seekers move up, both kinds, the Skirmishing guys and the Vengeance one. As you can see there, they've moved up. The Gunners have stayed where they are because they're going to shoot at the Spearmen. Over here, the whole Guardians actually move backwards because there was literally no point in moving forward. Patrick's Rangers would have had them, and also if his his Avatar would have charged the attack copter, it would have just gone straight. It'd have overran into the whole Guardians. Although I think the whole Guardians could have probably taken him doing D3 rooms, they didn't really just want to sacrifice those guys, so they actually moved backwards. In the magic phase, nothing happened, but I did draw his scroll, so it wasn't all bad. The shooting phase, my Gunners target his Spearmen and kill 7, which is good stuff. These boys are really good. Now they've got that little boost as +1 to hit. They make my list every time. They're brilliant. I love them. What else happened? I think the Greybeards actually had a shot at the Heath Riders there, but 24 shots I couldn't convert, which is pretty terrible, really. Yeah, and over the other side, the Kingsguard have beaten up the Owl and reformed. So we go to Sylvan Elves turn 2. His Frenzied guys, Wild Huntsmen, have moved up to flank the Greybeards. But prior to that, his Avatar of Nature has actually charged my chaffing attack copter. I was going to hold, but prior to that, I failed my terror test and ran away, popping straight over the top of the whole Guardians, who are immune to psych, so they don't panic. Did he charge anything else? Yeah, his Briar Maidens have actually charged the flank of the Gunners. Last turn, I could have turned my Gunners round and faced the Briar Maidens, but when you're trying to chase fast cav, what's the point? Also, if I'd have turned to the side, his Spearman would have been free just to charge straight into the side of the Gunner. So I elected just to keep it like that and take the flank charge from the Briar Maidens. There's not a lot I could have done about it, really. In the magic phase, nothing happened, but I did have to use my Rune of Denial on his fireball, which he was trying to target the Seekers again. In the shooting phase, he killed the remaining Seeker in the Dragon Seekers unit, Demon Seekers unit. There you can see the Briar Maidens going into the flank of the Gunners. Forgot to mention, but the Heath Riders have moved up to chaff the Kingsguard again, which is a real pain. I think the Kestrel Knights have moved over there as well for maybe a turn 3 chaff. We'll see how that one goes. And yeah, just another overview. So the combat phase, the Briar Maidens and the Gunners, I think I beat him by 2 actually. Maybe I beat him by 1. I can't remember, but anyway, he holds, and I get a reform to face because I'm thinking next turn, I can beat these girls up and then get a reform, and if he wants to come in the front of my gunners with his spearmen, well, he's going to take heavy casualties, isn't he? So that was the plan there. Another little overview of this side. So we go to Dwarven, hold, turn 3. So the Greybeards were stuck between a rock and a hard place, really. They could have turned to face the Wild Huntsmen and thrown some throwing axes at them, but weren't likely to kill them all, and then their flank would have been open to the Rangers. So I just thought, you know what, let's just go all in. So they charged into the front of the Rangers. I'm pretty sure with being strength 5 on charge that I can actually take these guys, cause some serious wounds. So they go in there. The whole Guardians actually try to charge the flank of the Spearmen, but they fail, which was a little bit disappointing. But the Vengeance Seeker makes it to the front. The King's Guard have charged the Chaffing Heath Riders across the Have. The attack copter has moved up to where it can be more useful because no more fast cav. So I think. Magic phase, I get 2d6 strength 4 hits from the Anvil of Power onto the Wild Huntsman left of screen. I kill one, but I wasn't really casting it for the damage. I was casting it because the whole Guardians had now left their flank open to the Wild Huntsman should he wish to come in. So it was for the additional things, which is -1 to hit in combat, and they've got to pass a dangerous terrain test on their way in. So Patrick let that one go anyway. I don't think he had enough dice to dispel it. Combat phase, okay, so the Kingsguard have killed the Chaffing Heath Riders, naturally. The Gunners and the Briar Maidens I've beaten by 2, but he holds again, which is a real pain, because, these girls are holding me up now. It's not good. The Vengeance Seeker kills a handful of spearmen. He returns by causing a wound. And over here, the Greybeards have gone straight through the Rangers and into the front of the Thicket Star. Not sure whether that's a good thing. We'll see. Another look over here. Okay, so we go to Sylvan Elves, turn 3. I think something. Yeah, that's right. Because I had an attack copter down here. His Wild Huntsman charged the attack copter, meaning it kept running, so that fled off the board. He then redirected into the I think it's the side of the whole Guardians with the Wild Huntsman. He also charges. Does he charge? Yeah, the Avatar of Nature charging to flank of the Greybeards. That's not good. Yeah, so that's after the combat phase, but I'll explain what. So the magic phase, he got off burning ramparts onto the Kingsguard. I let it go, I think. I can't remember why. Maybe I didn't have enough dice. Maybe I dispelled the others. I think he was going for. He tried to cast molten metal on my Kingsguard, but I dispelled that and then let burning ramparts go. We'll see if that comes back to haunt me later. The shooting, he puts a wound on the Demon Seeker, who is now on his own. I think I mentioned that last turn. He killed the last Seeker. In combat, he beats up my Greybeards with the Avatar. Of course he does. But I got lucky with the whole Guardians and the Wild Huntsman, as you can see. He didn't cause any wounds on the way, and he really did roll badly. I think he missed with everything. It was ridiculous. So I get a reform. He's beaten out a frenzy as well, which is nice. That combat was a draw again. The damn things. Yeah, his Kestrel Knights as well. They charged my the previous turn. I forgot to mention this. They charged my attack copter, which was there. I elected to flee, thinking that he would just stumble forward, failing his charge in front of the King's Guard, giving me an easy charge next turn and maybe an over into the Spearman. But my attack copter ran too far and ran off the board. No, he actually caught the attack copter. That's right. He caught the attack copter with the Kestrels and ended right there in front of my anvil, which is not a good place for the anvil. So we go on to Dwarven Holds turn 4. I've charged my Demon Seeker into the side of the Thicket Star. We'll see that in a minute. I tried to charge the King's Guard into the front of the Spearman there. I fail and take 4 wounds from Burning Ramparts, coming to bite me, I think. Everything else in combat, so there was no other movement. In the magic phase, I tried to get rid of Ramparts, but failed. Failed to dispel it. I think I failed by 1. I also cast the lightning spell, which is the Rune of Storms, on the Kestrel Knights. I kill all 3 of them. Yeah, it takes the additional D6 strength hits to do it, but I do get rid of them. The Greybeards have rallied, and in the combat phase, my monstrous infantry have beaten up the Wild Huntsmen that were in combat, and they get a bit of a reform to face the Avatar of Nature, or the flank of the Thicket Beast. We'll see. If you notice there, Patrick Spearman have beaten up my Vengeance Seeker, which is a real nightmare, because if I don't shift these Briar Maidens, he's going to be in the flank. And guess what? I don't shift the Briar Maidens. I beat him again, but he holds. He holds on leadership 7 or so, 6, possibly, whatever leadership they are. I think I beat him by 2. So those gunners are in real trouble next time. So we go to Sylvan Elves turn 4. He charges his Avatar of Nature into the front of the Greybeards, into the front of the Greybeards. He charges his Spearmen into the side of the gunners, which isn't good. In his magic phase, he doesn't get anything off. I think I shut him down completely. I think it was a 4 magic phase, and I get it done. He might even fail to cast something. I think he fails to cast Molten Metal actually on my King's Guard. In the combat phase, over here, I issue a challenge to the Avatar. He has to accept, and my champion gets mulched, but I hold, which is good. Over the other side, here my Demon Seeker. I can't remember if I mentioned this last time. I think I missed out. My Demon Seeker charged the Thicket Star, and actually he issued a challenge to his champion. I think I caused 7 or 8 wounds because he's multiple wounds too. So this is the second round of combat, where my Demon Seeker actually kills his BSB. Down to strength 6 now, but I do enough wounds to take his BSB out, which is good, and he doesn't get to attack back, which is even better. And over here, yeah, this is a disaster. So the Spearman just goes straight through the side of the gunners, but he does take casualties. My gunners do okay. The 2 that can attack, and the Briar Maidens actually manage to. My gunners break basically, and the Briar Maidens actually overrun into the front of my anvil, which is not good. Not good at all. There's another shot. The Dwarven holds 5 and Sylvan Elves 5. I'll go through these pretty quickly because most things are in combat, so don't have to move. So the King's Guard move up 9 to threaten the Thicket Beasts. I take some wounds from Ramparts. Again, I take a wound. In combat, my Slayer kills, I think, a Thicket Beast. Looks like it, but then gets beaten up by the rest of them, even though they're down to strength 4 now. He beats me up, which isn't good, so the Demon Seeker dies. The whole Guardians have charged the side of the Avatar of Nature. We'll see how that one goes. They actually cause. I don't get any spells off in the magic phase, so we go to the combat phase. My whole Guardians do 3 wounds to the Avatar of Nature. The Avatar of Nature does a load of wounds to the Beards, but we hold. And then in Sylvan Elves turn 5, the Spearmen actually reform and turn towards. Going back, I don't think anything happens between the Anvil and the Briar Maidens. I think it's a draw this turn, which is good. So Sylvan Elves 5, going back to Sylvan Elves 5. He turns their Spearmen round, which you'll see in a minute, to contest the objective with my King's Guard, which is that bottle top there. The Thicket Star have turned around and they're moving towards that other bottle top to claim the other objective. I just need my whole Guardians there to finish off that Avatar of Nature. Then they can also contest that, but we'll see. The Briar Maiden's put 1 wound on the anvil, and the anvil does a wound back, I think, so it's another draw. In the Sylvan Elves combat phase, my monster's infantry finish off the avatar, which is good. But he also carves the monster's infantry down, which is not good, meaning that I can't contest that objective. The Greybeards die as well. I think he finishes the whole Guardians with his attacks and then stomps the Greybeards at the end. So yeah, that's not good. I've lost 2 units in 1 combat phase there. So Dwarven holds 6 and 6. These two just contest the objective over here, and yeah, they finish off the anvil. So I'm losing points left, right, and centre here. Those girls MVP. So at the end of the game, it was 11-9 to Patrick, but because he got the objective, yeah, we contested one and he claimed the other, so he got the extra 3 points, making it 14-6. It was a good game. Sylvan Elves play very differently now. They suit Patrick's style a lot more. He's certainly happy with it. Again, if I could just get that Kingsguard unit to combat, maybe my list would start doing okay. But when you're playing armies like Sylvan Elves, who have got an abundance of chaff, flying chaff at that, or fast cav, you're just not going to get into combat, or they're just not going to let you get into combat. I think I was stupid though by putting that Kingsguard unit over to the right. I just don't like vanguarding right up the middle. That's my issue. I like to sort of come in, go down the side, and sweep in. It doesn't seem to be working, so maybe I've got to relook at my tactics a little bit. But it was a good game, and I'm certainly enjoying playing Dwarven Holds in 9th. I think Patrick's enjoying his. Pell's enjoying the 9th experience. I'm not quite sure he's enjoying his list though. But we'll see how the final game goes, which will be Sylvan Elves versus Warriors of the Dark Gods, which will be the next battle report being uploaded. It's also a decider for the tournament, so we'll see who can become King of the Spotty Dog one day. Will it be the Sylvan Elves or will it be the Warriors? We'll see. Catch you next time.